A lot of you guys are mad at me, huh? Yeah, I know. Flip, how can you say that? How can you say that about reparations? So those of you who don't know, on the Joe Budden podcast, episode 707, I said black people, we're not getting reparations. And after I said that insensitive comment, because it was insensitive, I've been attacked all day. Been attacked for the past 2 days. I've been reminded by my black brothers and sisters, my African American brothers and sisters, that I'm not black, that I'm from Caribbean descent. Even if I was born here, they said, Flip, you have no right to speak on this. Even if my mother was born here, you have no right to speak on African American issues. Mind your business. Well, let me tell you guys something. While I do respect it and I understand how insensitive my comments were, when I grew up, when I was raised on East 93rd Street between Winthrop and Rutland, I didn't know the difference between Caribbean and black or Caribbean and African American. It's not until a guy named Breadman called my show and was teaching me about ADOS because he was complaining, why don't I have black people at my studio? And I'm looking like I have black people in my studio all day. Oh, you only have Caribbean, ADOS or ADOS. And I learned. Shout out to the ADOS. And I started to learn and I started to learn. I said, okay, but my parents didn't teach me that. My parents didn't teach me that. That neighborhood didn't teach me that. We were all one. When the white man is looking at us, he's not saying, you're a Caribbean man or you're a Haitian or you're a Haitian Jamaican man. He's not looking at me saying that. He's looking at me as a black man. You're a black man. When I'm not let into a store, they're not saying, oh, you're from the Caribbean. No, you're a black man. But I let you guys have that way of thinking. You guys can keep that. Because that's something that I see I didn't even know a lot of people think like that. You can have that. I go through the same things you go through. We go through the same struggles. That ignorant way of thinking, cool, because what I said was ignorant as well. I deserve what you're saying, but that doesn't mean I feel the way you feel. That doesn't mean I'm separating myself. I'm not doing that. Y'all can have that type of compete between African American and Caribbean, and I don't care about none of that. Keep it. Keep it. Keep it, keep it, keep it, keep it, keep it. Because I experienced what you experienced. What I meant to say is that while my comments are insensitive and ignorant, I feel like the government is playing around with us. The government is playing. Let's call it what a TI is they're playing. The Jewish people got their reparations. The Japanese people after World War II got their reparations. Native American got reparations. Hell, 1.5 million people, white families, got 160 acres due to the Homestead Act. 160 acres due to the Homestead Act. And till this day, those families are thriving off of those 160 acres. Are you nuts? Do you not see what I see? Do you see what I see? So how can I not say something? They put together a task force. They put together a bill, and they put together a task force. California, NYC just signed off on a bill, a task force. What the task force to do is to research the harm from slavery, after slavery, and including racial discrimination. What? Are they not online? Are they not on Twitter? What research do they need to do? I feel that that's a ploy to put together just to get black votes. What research do they need to do? A task force? A task force. Really? To research the harm from slavery and after slavery, including racial discrimination. Now, okay, I agree. I agree that you know, a lot of people are going through what they're going through in the South. You got Mississippi, Alabama. I agree with the part of who deserves the reparations, right? Who deserves it? You know, who families have suffered, who families were taken, land was taken from them. You know, a lot of lands were taken from black people. Back in the days, land were given to the black people, some of the free slaves, and then they took it back and gave us. After Lincoln died, I think the next president reversed something. I don't know. You research it, but it was reversed and it was given back to the slave owners. So I get doing that type of research, but you put together a task force to see the effects that happened after slavery. Martin Luther King didn't die. Malcolm X ain't die. Racial discrimination, you ain't see a whole bunch of white people just beat up a black guy. Like, you're not seeing these things online, but you got it's like holding a carrot on a string. That's what it's like. It's dangling a carrot. This is the most gaslighting situation ever. It's manipulation and gaslighting. I'm a manipulator. I'm a gaslighter. I know when it's happening, and this is what's happening. They will build you up just to break you down. And I'm saying, yo, let's come together. Let's put things together. Let's put our money together and rebuild our neighborhoods. Yo, Flip, we don't want to rebuild our neighborhoods. Or come on, every time we build it, they take it down and stuff like that. That's true. Yes, that is true. But black people have been suffering for the longest. You ever heard of redlining? The FHA and local banks had a movement going on where they kept black people out of certain neighborhoods and out of certain homes. Yes, I get it, man. Like, rest in peace to George Floyd, man. Things are changing. But I feel like we're being played with. And let me just say this about this Caribbean thing. I can get in my Caribbean bag. There's a lot of influential people that represent for black people that were Caribbean. Have you ever heard of Marcus Garvey, a Jamaican man that came out here and had 1 million people walking in the streets in Harlem, speaking for black people? You know Malcolm X's parents were Garveyites. You know Malcolm X followed Marcus Garvey's teaching? Oh, you ain't know that. Minister Farrakhan, the FOI, the Nation of Islam. Minister Farrakhan has, got Caribbean descent. I think Barbados or something. What I'm saying is that we don't look at things like that. We've all experienced the same thing. Marcus Garvey was out here putting on. So this whole Caribbean thing and who's Caribbean, and I don't care about it. We are all one. Yes, I'm not eligible for reparations. Cool, I shouldn't speak on it. But I'm speaking for my brothers and sisters. I'm speaking for the people that's going through the stuff that they're going through down there in the South. Some in the North. I do agree that I have a voice and I have to be mindful. Flip, you got a big voice. You got to be mindful. You shouldn't say that. It was an ignorant comment. I get it. But they putting together a task force to research about what happened in the effects of slavery. My man Breadman put me on the ADOS. That's how I found out. He called my show and put me on the ADOS. But they put together a task force. So I'm gonna do more research. I've been watching this all morning. It's called Debating Public Policy Series, a discussion on reparations. And I watched it 4 times. It's about 1 hour and 15 minutes. William Darity, Duke Public Policy Professor, and Harvard Law Professor Randall Kennedy. And they were speaking about reparations. Very good debate. Great discussion. I learned a lot. Listen, here's what it is. I'm humble. I'm not too old to learn. I'm not too old to learn. You want me to be ignorant? No. I am ignorant, but you want me to be wrong and strong. I'm not too old to learn. I learned a lot on Twitter. They were teaching me, I'm like, oh, snap. They were teaching me a lot. I learned. I'm learning still. I'm going to go do some more research and then come back here and I'm going to crack y'all in the head. I have to. Enough with this Caribbean and black stuff too. I don't stand with that. You guys can attack me and talk till your face turn blue. I'm a black man. And none of you can convince me that I'm not a black man. None of you can tell me I'm not eligible to speak about the experiences that is going on in the United States that I've witnessed, that I've experienced, and some of my friends' ancestors experienced, and my ancestors experienced the same thing. But I do understand what you're saying. When it comes to this slavery talk and stay out of our business, cool. But I'm not. I'm not. I do want to salute everybody that understood where I was coming from, that understood where I was coming from, that gave me grace. Ain't no disrespect intended. But I'm on y'all ass. See y'all soon. Real quick. They put together a task force. A task force. What? A task force? What, are you gonna knock on people's doors and go to their house and say, hey, how you doing? Oh, how were you and your family affected by slavery? Man, stop it, man. Stop it, man. A task force. But if reparations come, I support whoever deserves it. They put together a task force in the North and the West. California. I don't know how much slaves was out there. I heard there's some. New York, the North, people ran to the North, right? Didn't they run up here to get freedom? If y'all don't see the games that's being played, man, I don't know what to tell you, but it's a start. I support. You have my support, and I'm going to research more before I give an ignorant take moving forward. Queens.